everybody, and welcome to the Aliveness Habit, refreshing conversations with everyday masters of aliveness. We are here together. I have a beautiful guest with me, Sarah Saleh, and we are sitting here in my home, and it's a Saturday morning. We are together, which is awesome. My furnace is not working, so we're a little chilly, but it's okay. We have some.
We're good.
We're good. And we are here to explore the full rapture of what it means to feel alive for each one of us. And so I'm thrilled to have you here today, Sarah.
Thank you so
The
much.
first time Sarah and I are meeting,
Yeah.
we met through a connection, a friend, and it turns out that Sarah lives in my community, which is amazing. So she came over with some coffees and we're here to chat. We are here to chat. So Sarah is a reformed life enthusiast, which I love, and a champion of connection and of love. And so I'm just so excited to have a chat with you today.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Yeah, so I always kick off our chats with the question, what does aliveness mean to you?
It means so many things to me. One of them is just being in nature, going for my walk, having this like a beautiful day like today, just being on the trail, being with myself and God and all the energies around us and just feel alive. Also, I love networking too, connecting with people. So this is another way of me being alive too as well. And having my routine, my daily routine every day. That makes me feel alive, feel like I am being consistent, I am constantly, continually loving myself and loving being part of this life and just, being grateful too as well. Grateful is big thing, is I try to practice it as much as possible. And that also part of my aliveness.
Wow, I love that. Yeah, I hear a lot of yummy stuff in there. Yeah, so nature and connection and God and faith and yeah, so what is the feeling that's associated with aliveness for you when you're in connection with those things? How do you know that you're alive? What is that feeling?
It feels like you're in just a natural high. You feel like your body's just happy and just vibrating of just being around the energies or people or whatever it is. It's just you feel like different. You feel like just awake and you don't feel tired. You don't feel anything except you're so happy to be out. You're so happy to be connecting. It's just there's no negativity anywhere in your body.
Wow.
So that's aliveness for me.
Yeah, what a beautiful space to inhabit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm curious, has that always been the case for you?
No, it hasn't.
Oh.
This is something that I have worked on in the past 2 years now and working still continuing toward it. I was a single mom for quite a while and it was hard and I didn't have a routine. I didn't have the proper support around me. I was looking for a connection with certain people that maybe can help guide me and that when you don't know yourself you're that well, you end up connecting with people that don't serve you well either. So yeah, I was in a dark place for quite a while and knowing and learning about liveliness and changing that you feel the difference. You're not also getting sick all the time, where it was when you're not alive, you feel sick. The smallest cold you're catching. So for me, it's not like that anymore. I feel a lot healthier. I feel vibrant. I feel my morning routine is very important to me, and I'm not letting it go for anything. I have my alarm always set, so I can make sure that I do it too as well.
So how did you connect? What took you out of that space of non-aliveness? How did you transition or transform? What brought you out of that space?
I met a friend of mine through school because I took in the past 2 years I went back to school. I took that time off and kind of starting to see what I want to do in my life. What does that look like? So I went and took a program for a year. It was intense. Then after I was done, I was like, you know what? I think I need another little bit more time for myself to just to know myself a little bit more before I go and do anything else.
Mm.
And just taking that time and being with a friend that knew what that is and taught me how that was.
Mm.
So it helped me a lot to get in that space and to be alive again.
Mm. Yeah. It's amazing how powerful our relationships, the the good ones, right? The ones that are really
Exactly.
positive and that inspire us to
Hmm.
be better versions of ourselves. It's
Correct.
just it's such a powerful thing.
Hmm.
Yeah. So what does that routine look like? What is your daily routine?
So I usually wake up between 4:30 to 5. I I go downstairs right away, start my workout. Then after I finish my workout, I do a bit of meditation,
Hmm.
a little bit of journaling, and then I get ready for work. And that's what kept me from
Hmm.
keeping focus, because journaling, you're putting down your intention for the day too as well.
Hmm.
You're putting down what also I put usually 3 things that I accomplished, my wins from the day before,
Okay.
and the challenges that I had, and how can I change that for
Hmm.
the next time that happens.
Hmm.
So just to focus a little bit on what's inside
Hmm.
and try to give that love to yourself.
Yeah, I like that. So you move your body and then you reflect a little bit
Correct.
and engage
Yeah.
both reflection of the past, a little bit of what's gone well and what some of the challenges are, and then what it is that you're intending
Yeah.
for that day. Yeah. And what feels as you go through your day when what's the difference between in feeling and in output really between you in that routine versus you not in that routine.
So good question, because I went away, then I came back, and somehow I got out of a routine for a couple of days, and I just didn't feel myself.
Mm.
I was not connected with me.
Interesting.
So I need that connection with myself to be able to feel alive too as well.
Oh yeah.
So
Interesting, eh?
yeah,
Yeah. Wow.
checking in with, because you have to check in with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And some people can be just simple for them, where they sit there in a quiet space and
Yeah.
just check in with themselves. And for
Mm-hmm.
me, I found journaling, even though I used to laugh at it 2 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yep.
now I do it religiously, and that's what keeps me alive.
Yeah. Amazing. You know, it's so funny you say that, like we used to laugh, we used to laugh at journaling because I hear that a lot. I don't know. I hear two things. So I hear I don't know what to do when
Hmm.
I journal. I don't know what to write. I don't know what to do.
Hmm.
And also like it sounds so like what's that gonna do? Like what's
Hmm.
that really gonna do? Writing down for 10 minutes. It seems a little bit trivial and a little bit
Yeah.
silly. But then like you say, when you do it and you make it a real ritual
Yeah.
as part of your everyday life, my goodness, what a transformation.
It is. It is. What started me on journaling too. I took it was an online course somebody was giving for the day,
Okay.
and we got to go through what would you do
Mm.
when you especially don't know what to do when you want to journal,
Yes.
and they give you so many different ideas
Yeah.
on how to do that,
Oh yeah.
and
Okay.
that's where I kicked it off.
Okay. I love that. Yeah, because there's different kinds, right?
Yeah,
There's a lot of different
and
kinds.
you can adapt your own too. You can just learn so many different ones and just do what
Yeah.
comfortable for you and resonate with you,
Yeah.
because not we're not the same,
Mm-hmm.
and might be also that you might change the way also you journal.
Mm-hmm.
Like 6 months from now, you might not do what you have done 6 months before.
Yes.
You're tweaking, you're changing the way you're doing it, as long as you're
Yes.
checking in with yourself and making
Yes.
sure that
Yes.
you're good
Yes.
and
And then
happy.
allowing for there to be some adjustments as you go.
Exactly.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I think that's the other thing that can happen sometimes is we get very rigid in our routines and we think that it has to be this way. And if it's not
Yeah.
this way, then we kind of we fall and stumble, but like suggesting we can always adjust
Yeah,
and allow for there to be some flow, but still stay strong in the intention
exactly.
of doing it.
True.
Yeah, I love that.
Mm.
I'm really curious. You mentioned God before, and I'm wondering how God and faith plays into your aliveness.
Um, for me, it it depending what it is. I'm still learning a lot about my religion,
Mm-hmm.
and there's some things, of course, that I agree with, and some things I don't agree with,
Mm-hmm.
or the reason why I don't agree with it because I'm not ready to let go of certain things.
Mm-hmm.
Like I mentioned before, that sometimes I would like to have a glass of wine, which in my religion is not allowed.
Mm-hmm.
So
And what
having
religion is that?
I'm Muslim.
Muslim. Okay.
Yeah. So that's the reason that's sometimes that's where I feel I'm not alive because I feel like I shouldn't like I go back and like I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
Even though I enjoy myself with the people I was with and I was socializing and everything. It's not like I drink every day. It's mostly
Yeah.
socially and everything. And so that's where it can be sometimes tricky for me.
Hmm.
And I have to remind myself sometimes like you're human, you're allowed to do these mistakes
Mm-hmm.
and you just need to move on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And back years ago when before I did the work, and I'm still doing the work, that would have helped me from even being happy for quite a while
Yeah.
and just beating myself up.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So criticizing yourself and
Yeah,
judging yourself for that,
exactly.
and then holding on to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
feeling guilty and ashamed for it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so yeah, I'm trying to look at it a different way. And I'm just human,
Giving yourself permission.
giving myself permission to do these things
Yes. And then adjust.
and adjust.
Mhm. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
that's important. The word adjustment, flexibility is such an important part of mental health,
it is.
right? Like
Yeah.
being able to stay flexible and adaptable within the container that we set for ourselves,
Yeah.
and not be so hard on ourselves.
Yeah.
I think that's a really beautiful noticing. Um, and uh, I'm just, I'm also curious what kills your aliveness. So you mentioned, one thing there when you slip and have a glass of wine and then you give yourself permission, but what other things kill your aliveness?
Conflict.
Mm,
I think um I haven't mastered how to deal with conflict yet.
mhm,
And I was always that my parents were divorced, and of course they had, they used to fight. I would be in the middle of their fights, and so I find myself a lot of times still can be in the
mhm,
middle, and I don't know what to do with it. So
mhm,
I had to learn to create boundaries
mhm.
to be able not to get to that. And as soon as I see somebody having conflict, I'm like, please, I don't need to be in the middle of this. I love you both, but I don't need to be a part of that. And it took me quite a while. Like it's only recently that I started to do that.
Yeah.
And that's killed my aliveness because should I have done something different?
Yeah.
Should I have mediated better? Should I have done this? Should I have done that? No, let them be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because sometimes they just need to let out whatever is bothering them about the other person, and it doesn't involve me, doesn't change anything between me and them,
Mhm,
and that's it. So that remembering that and staying my own power and energy
mhm,
and in my own space and
mhm,
sticking to my boundaries helps me
mhm.
to stay also in my aliveness.
Yeah. Yeah, the judging mind is a powerful mind, and I mean, we can really live in that space, that judging space,
Big time.
for our whole lives, really.
Yeah,
I mean,
100%.
if we don't work, so that's the funny thing is, talk about aliveness, and we just assume that because we're alive and we have a pulse and we have a heartbeat that we're supposed to feel alive.
Yeah. No.
And this is what I find, why I love having these discussions, is because what I'm getting from you is is that there's effort involved in feeling alive.
Yeah.
You have to put effort into it,
A lot of effort.
right? You
Yeah.
have to, and it's effort, but it's also work. You have to know who you are. You have to know what you like. You have to know
Exactly.
what to do, when to do it, how to do it, with whom to do it. I mean,
Yeah.
there's quite a bit of sauce in there.
Yeah.
You know,
It's true.
we don't just wake up one morning and go, well, you know, I mean, it's something that's cultivated.
It is.
And it has to be cultivated on an ongoing, regular basis. And this is what I find so beautiful about like discussions like this, and what I think is so important to share out, is that it's not a given to feel good.
No. And you have to be okay with being, you don't have to be happy all the time.
Yeah.
And that's, I had to
Yeah.
learn that. Oh, why you not, like I used to ask the question, why are you not happy?
Mm-hmm.
You should be okay with looking content. If
Yes.
everything's going
Yes.
okay the way you want,
Yeah.
contentment is.
And what is your relationship with that space of not always feeling that? Yeah, can you still be alive when you're feeling not great? And
Yeah.
yeah, what does that look like for you?
That means that I have to continuously working on my mindset.
Yeah.
Changing it, and what other ways I can do, or what other things I can do to kind of change that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, today's not gonna be might be not a good day, and that's okay. And I have to be okay with that too as well,
Mm-hmm.
and give myself permission to be okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
And tomorrow is gonna be a completely different day.
Yeah.
Or the next couple hours is gonna be different.
Yeah.
And or if you're really not feeling too good, put some music on and start dancing. And that's
Oh,
it.
you are my girl.
Yeah. And that's
It's
the other
true.
way.
Changes the mood, right?
If
Yeah.
you find yourself like you can't really get yourself out of it, just put your best music on and just dance it out.
Oh, yes. That's the best. And then you forget what the heck you even were worried about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's nothing to, and this is something I had to learn recently too as well, that everything for you is here, and whatever you don't have is coming,
Mm.
because you're already, everything is written for you. So why are we worried about everything?
Mm-hmm.
You have to almost get yourself, your mind out of that, because that's a trap that you can go down, and you're not gonna, you're gonna get
Yes.
out of it that easily.
Yes. It's that craving, it's the wanting, it's the wishing, it's the I want over here. This is where, and then we end up living somewhere other than what is right here, right now.
Yeah. And then you
Right.
have to also check in with yourself. Where's that coming from too?
Mm-hmm.
Is that something from childhood?
Mm-hmm.
Is that something that somebody said and you kind of held on to it?
Mm-hmm.
And it could be ancestral too as well, that energy that passed through,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah.
you have to check in with yourself. That's the reason why you do journaling too as well.
Mm-hmm.
And if you find that during the day you're not having a good day, still check in with yourself. What's happening? Why are you feeling frustrated? Why are you feeling sad? Where's that coming from? Where's the worry coming from?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Very, very powerful and very doable.
yeah,
We can all do these things. But it's such a fast-paced world right now.
it is. It is. And I love living in a community like ours where you just can leave your phone at home,
Yes.
just go out for a walk on the trails,
Yes.
and just slow things down.
Yeah.
Just
And
slow it down.
yeah, what's your relationship with nature?
Oh, I love it. I love it.
We're just looking,
And I was
looking at
like,
all the trees right now, and we're like, yes.
and I feel like it's spring too as well, even
Yeah.
though today is the coldest day in
Yeah.
February. But I saw the robins are flying and the cardinals, and
I love
I
that.
was like, oh my God, spring is here. And I was like, oh, I feel even more alive. It's like, oh, I just can't be sitting inside. I want to be outside
Mhm.
the whole time. Either
Yeah.
go cross country skiing or just go for a walk,
Yeah.
or anything, just to be active, get that negative energy that's
Yeah.
stuck somewhere in your body out.
Yeah. To move it out. Yeah.
Uh,
Have you always had that kind of sacred relationship with nature? Is it something that you have cultivated?
Um, actually something I cultivated recently as I got older.
Mhm.
I used to not think that I was a country girl at all.
Too.
I thought I was a
That's the
city girl.
same.
Yeah.
Same thing.
And after that, I was like,
Oh
What's
man.
wrong?
I know, me too. I
I was
first
like,
got to Chelsea, I'm like, yeah, I don't know about this. There's a lot of trees.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I moved first in Hull. I'm like, I'm loving this. I can see Gatineau Park and
Mhm.
Plen area is like you're really getting closer to more to
Yeah.
the Gatineau Park. So as soon as I moved in Chelsea, I'm like, this is amazing. And I found like I went and tried to find the closest trail to the river and how I gonna
Mm.
get there and everything, even though one of our roads that says you're not supposed to cross or you're not supposed to walk because
Yeah.
it's a private road and everything. I don't even look at any of this because I'm just I didn't care. I'm taking this road. This is what's gonna take me to the river, and I'm gonna go on my trail.
Yep.
And I didn't care for anything else. And
Mm.
just made sure that anybody passed me, big smile, said hi,
Yeah.
have a great day, and that's it.
Yeah.
So because I'm not sure if you're aware, some of people that say that don't go and walk on that road, you're not gonna be welcome. I'm like, I'm welcome. I'm really happy.
I'm welcome.
It's it's nature.
Yeah,
This
it's
is what I
nature.
love. This
Yeah.
is,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
and that's it.
Yeah. What a beautiful thing to cultivate though. And again, something that I think is overlooked
Yeah.
and a bit neglected, where we have, access to this beautiful natural world, and sometimes we forget to connect with it.
Yeah.
But
It's
it
true.
has some really beautiful healing property. And ever since I moved to
100%.
this community, I've really developed a very, very strong and important relationship with nature. I don't
Yeah.
know if I could live. I can no, I know I
Yeah.
couldn't live
Me
in a
neither.
city anymore.
Yeah.
No, I know that for sure. But it did take me a little while to, to transform and
Of course.
and connect in my own way
Yeah.
With nature. But my goodness, yeah, it is definitely a really special
It is.
thing to live
Yeah.
in the forest.
I garden too during the summertime. So if I'm I talk to my plants.
You talk to plants?
I talk to my plants. My kids are like, who are you
Well,
talking
it's
to?
out now. She talks to her plants.
My kids think I'm crazy that I'm talking to
I
my
talk
plants.
to my plants too. Don't worry.
Even my fish, and I like little fish. I'm like,
Oh.
hey, good morning, barnacle. Here's your food. Here's your breakfast. So,
So good.
well, everything is energy. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
they feel us. Yes, maybe they
Mm-hmm.
can't hear what we're saying, but they
Mm-hmm.
feel our energy.
Agreed.
So,
Agreed. They're
you know,
living beings. I've
exactly.
had my plants, some of them for, gosh,
I love how much
ye-
plants you have.
I have. I mean, I've had them for years, and
Yeah.
I bring them in the winter, and I take them out.
And this is another part of my aliveness. It's
It's
plants.
plants.
It's plants
Me too.
too.
Oh.
Taking care of them. I have a lot of indoor plants too at home
Oh.
that I take care of during the winter, but summertime is like I have my vegetable garden. I was not lucky of having the ground that I have a lot of quartz kind of ground,
Yeah.
so I can't plant anywhere
Okay.
except in boxes. So I figured the way, and now I just plant everything in boxes, and I'm still
Wow.
happy. Put them in the sun, I go in the morning before I leave to work, clean them up, put some fertilizer and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Then go to work, and I come
Amazing.
back and I say hi to them.
It's so
Mommy's
nice.
back.
He's back. But isn't it a joy to see plants growing and looking
Mhm.
green and happy? It's actually a real
It is.
pleasure.
It is.
So
It is.
I understand what you're
Yeah.
saying.
You
Yeah.
feel more grounded too.
Yeah.
I feel like calmness is just everything fades away kind of thing. And all
Yeah.
the negativity fades away when you have that.
Interesting. Yeah. Beautiful. So, what do for anybody listening right now who might not be feeling particularly alive and is sort of thinking like, wow, that sounds great. I'd like to feel
Yeah.
that. What would you say, where do you start?
Baby steps.
Yeah.
See what makes you happy.
Like what would you say in your experience would be an easy win to start exploring?
Um, for me I started was walking.
Mm-hmm.
I would tell myself, 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah.
Get
Go.
dressed and go. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter, raining,
Yeah.
not raining, snow, just do 5 minutes. not longer than that. And
Yes.
if you feel like you can do longer, then do a little longer. But just go out for 5 minutes. You don't have, even if you don't feel like walking, just being out in nature, or go somewhere
Yeah.
where you feel like makes you happy.
Yeah.
Do that
Mm,
and connect with something that's gonna make you happy, and it
yeah.
does not have also agenda behind it,
Yeah.
except just you being with nature.
Right. Yeah. So just not putting any pressure.
No,
I think sometimes we put too much pressure on
way too much
ourselves.
pressure.
Yeah. And it holds us back, I think, from even trying or continuing, because somehow
Mhm.
we think there has to be some outcome or some
Exactly.
some big thing that happens, and it's
No,
really not like that. It's just going outside, even just sitting out. I mean, if
just sitting
walking
out.
is too much and
Yeah,
that feels like too much effort, just stand outside
yeah, in the
in
sun.
the sun, to
And
tilt your head up
yeah, and feel it,
and
and just
feel it.
take
Mm-hmm.
3 deep breaths in, like just in slow
Mm-hmm.
ones. It will
Mm-hmm.
slow down also your nervous system
Yeah.
and relax you and just
Yeah.
change your mind.
Yeah.
And start
Yeah.
baby steps. You don't have to do a full day or an hour or any of that.
Yeah.
Just little baby steps, build up on it, and you'll be surprised.
Yeah, and also that one baby step because what I'm sensing and feeling from you, which is beautiful, is this connection to the body,
Hmm.
right? And the body is where we get out of this hamster wheel in our heads and all the things that we think we should be doing and we're not doing, and we're doing well and we're not doing well, and we kind of drop out of that. We drop into our bodies, and there's no meaning in our bodies. Our
No,
bodies are just this beautiful vessel that just is, but there's no meaning derived in the body. All meaning is derived up here.
correct.
So if we drop into our bodies, then we just get to be. And
Exactly.
what a
Yeah,
lovely space to
it
inhabit.
is.
We
It
don't
is.
have to do, we just can be.
We can just
We
be.
can just be. And I'm loving, as you talk, it's what's coming forward for me, this essence of just being.
Yeah,
And it's enough,
it is.
you
You
know?
don't need more than that.
And aliveness is more about being, I think, than
Yeah,
doing.
it is. It is.
What do
It's
you think
just,
about that? Does
I,
that land for you?
it does. This
Mm.
resonates a lot for me. It's just being, it's just being in your space, being you with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because you also, you're your best company too as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Like you become your own best friend,
Mm-hmm.
and you become so at peace with yourself,
Exactly.
and you don't really need it to be anything.
No,
And what a
no,
delicious space to
it is.
inhabit.
Exactly. I'm loving the sun too coming in now.
I know the sun is, I'm turned away, otherwise it'd be like a big spot of sun on my face. So as we wrap up here now together, what what would you say if you could sort of just summarize your experience of aliveness? What would you like to leave our viewers with today?
Um,
What advice or what kind of um, yeah, what would you like to share?
we all have had our struggles,
Mm,
and don't feel like this is the end. There's a lot more to life, and just try to cultivate that being being alive by just um, being in the right space for yourself. Try to have the right people around you
mhm,
that actually can practice, and or if you don't have the person that you can look up to, um, who is it that out there that you can look up to and see how aliveness they are, and try to mimic that for now until you
mhm,
find your own.
mhm. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just resource from somewhere, from something,
Yeah.
even if you don't know the person, like maybe somebody you admire online or
Yeah.
somebody but just resource from them, and it's okay.
What
Yeah.
do they do? What these things, that what their habits are, and it does, and you
Resource
don't
from us.
exactly. It doesn't have to be something huge, big.
Yes.
Start small,
Yes.
find what you like
I love it.
and try it out. There's nothing wrong with trying things and not liking it, and okay, I'll go to the next thing.
Yeah.
What else do I would like?
Yes.
And that's
Yes.
it.
Release the pressure.
To release it.
Yeah. And just enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
What a joy. What a joy to have
Nice
you
really
here.
talking with you.
Oh, it's been a beautiful, it's been lovely. I've
Thank
so enjoyed this. These are my favorite types of discussions and shares, because it's just so, it's so important, I think, to just put our essence out into the world.
Sure.
And without agenda, without needing anything back, but it's
Yeah.
just such a beautiful way to contribute and to share out. And you know, when we cultivate things that are worthwhile and that feel of value, I think it's our part of our responsibility to share it out, and
Right.
so others can resource from
100%.
us. And that's how we
Grow.
continue growing, and we each resource from each other, right?
Yeah. And that's what it is. Like they tell you the Native community have, like, we should have learned from the indigenous people a lot, because being part of the community, being together
Yes.
at all times, and tell you, yes, it takes a village to raise a kid. It's the same thing for us as adults.
Yes.
We need that village to help us
Yeah.
to connect to each other and to see that we're not alone.
Yeah. 100%.
And that's what we're missing nowadays.
I do. I agree. And look at us. We didn't even know each other.
Yeah.
Sarah's now having a coffee with me and we're chit-chatting about Aliveness. So
Exactly.
cheers to that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. It's been a lovely, it's been a joy, truly,
This is
truly.
really awesome. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. And mwah, lots of love to all of you. Thank
Bye-bye.
you so much for tuning in.